गौरी सन्दिदेश मिथः सखी अथ विश्वात्मने गौरी सन्दिदेश मिथः सखी दाता मे भूभृतां नाथः दाता मे भूभृतां नाथः प्रमाणीक्रियतामिति दाता मे भूभृतां नाथः प्रमाणीक्रियतामिति.
So when Shiva says, Kritas tapobhihi, and I'm your dasa, what he's saying is, let us marry, and we can marry now, and Shiva has agreed for the marriage. Parvati she doesn't jump in and say, yes, let's marry right now, let's go away. Right? She doesn't do that. She says, Sandidesha mithas sakhim. In secrecy, she calls her Sakhi and tells her. And what does she tell her? Data me bhubhritam nataha. Bhubhritam nataha, the king of the mountains, is my data. He is the one who should be giving me away. Pramani kriyatam. Please solemnize the marriage with him. She just doesn't jump in. So she could have married Shiva right away. So the reason is there are 8 kinds of vivahas in the Indian tradition. Right? Brahma, Prajapatya, Arsha, Daiva, Gandharva, Asura, Paishacha and Rakshasa. Paishacha and Rakshasa are very very bad ones where like the girl is kidnapped and taken away. We see all these kinds of things even today. And Gandharva Vivaha is what we call love marriage. Shakuntala and Dushyanta married. That's Gandharva Vivaha. And the best ones are the Brahma, Prajapatya, Arsha and Daiva. There's some difference between them, but Brahma is one where the father gives away his daughter to the groom, with a lot of gifts in a traditional wedding in front of, like a Agni Sammukha and all this. So she wants to get married like this. Right? So she's not swerved from the path of dharma. Even though she loves him, until now she was just arguing with the Vatu, the Brahmachari, and now that Shiva has shown his true form, and there is a very nice nuance here that she doesn't tell this to Shiva. She says it through her Sakhi. She doesn't even tell him directly. And that's very nice. But this is just a statement. The poet is just trying to set the scene. And this doesn't make it poetry. What makes it poetry is the next verse where he explains, Taya Vyaakhyaana Sandesha Sababhau Nibhrita Priye Chuta Yashti Rivabhyashe Madau Parabhruton Mukhi. And the way she said this, poetry is description. The poet is not trying to just report some events. He's trying to create the same anubhava that he had to us. If we take a photo somewhere, go to Lake Tahoe, take a photo, and next month you see the photo, you don't get the same, you're not awestruck in the same way that you were when you saw it, right? So the photo cannot do it. Mere reportage cannot give that anubhava. So the poet has to do something to describe it, which will try to give us that anubhava that the poet experienced. And he does this in the subsequent verse, where he likens Parvati to a mango blossom, Chuta Yashti. And the mango blossom is, it's hiding behind the leaves or, behind the mango branch. And the mango blossom cannot speak. But what heralds the arrival of spring is the cuckoo. The cuckoo sings. So he's likening Shiva to Vasanta or spring, and the mango blossom is talking to Shiva through the cuckoo by singing. So she is telling the cuckoo, and the cuckoo is talking to Shiva, and singing, that is what he likens it. This is a beautiful upama or a simile where he likens all of them to different aspects of spring, and you can rightly attribute it to her character, her Sakhi's character, and Shiva, and that's what makes this poetry beautiful. So now that she tells Shiva, no, you should solemnize the marriage with my father, let's see what Shiva says.